fait drôle de se retrouver, hein?
Oui. Ça fait 4 ans.
Non, 5 ans et demi. C'était en octobre. Oui, mais ce qui me rend triste, c'est que la vie et le roman, c'est différent.
Quoi?
So, Kristen, it's the world premiere of Reality right here from the Timing Cafeteria.
Loving it.
Cheers, benches. Cheers. So, we're going to be discussing Dancing with the Stars, America's Next Top Model, Project Runway, Idol, with a little special guest, Kris Allen.
Just a really good introduction of what's going to happen.
What's happening here? Of course, Macy Gray got bleeped on Dancing with the Stars.
Which is fantastic.
We've been practicing for 4 weeks, you know? Mm-hmm. And I just feel like I finally cherry, you know?
I think we can say it on this show because we're on the internet.
She either said I busted my cherry or I popped my cherry.
I think, yeah. And I think she had America in her hand. You know, she moves as gracefully as a Yeti.
Yeah. Although, as Tom said, she was charming.
She was charming.
It was charming and enjoyable.
As a lover of live television, I really wanted to see what you'd say next week.
She could have been this season's Cloris Leachman, but America was like, oh, the big black lady scares me.
Leaving right now, Macy and Jonathan.
Kathy Ireland, though, I think won the day by invoking God.
All things are possible with God, and I'm so happy to be here.
You know what? Because she was not good. I mean, she was really terrible. And as Annie pointed out in her recap, it did seem like she thought that Dancing with the Stars was a diet infomercial that she was hosting, because she was like, I'm going to keep moving. I've struggled with my weight. And then at the end, she was like, Jesus! And that was enough.
Look, if God was on her side, her salsa would have been a lot better than that. She was about as...
And what was that furry fanny pack thing she had going on?
It was crazy. She was like a starched shirt. You're supposed to have like some fluidity. Look at me, the dance expert. You're supposed to have fluidity in the salsa. But she was like a starched shirt. She was a fright. She is a supermodel, or a so-called supermodel. I know that term gets thrown around. But she said she'd never walked in high heels before.
Before I met Tony, I couldn't walk in high heels.
What the hell kind of model hasn't walked in high heels? That's just a
swimsuit
lie.
model.
It's a bald-faced lie.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't think Jesus would like that.
Jesus doesn't enjoy lying, nor does he enjoy fanny packs.
The show itself had some weird like moments of like, really? This is what you're gonna do? No more so than with the Iron Chef guy. Look, I know he's Asian.
Shocked.
And I know he has a martial arts background.
Yeah.
But really?
Why wasn't he like, hello? I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
I have some pride.
The dance
and
ended with
Carrie
a
Ann
gong.
Inaba was like, you're representing. And it's like, what are you representing? You know, racial stereotypes? It was ridiculous. I thought they were going to make him carry like a little box of Calgon detergent and be like, ancient Chinese secret.
I was ready for one of the judges to start their review with like, Confucius say something. I was like... It was just so crazy that it took me like a couple minutes to process that I was seeing this and that I was disturbed by it. But like you said, I mean, he participated seemingly gladly. So, you know, what the hell do I know?
Yeah.
The other disrespect of the week was Debbie Mazar.
Actress Debbie Mazar!
It's actress Debbie Mazar.
Debbie Mazar. And then she comes on and says,
I'm Debbie Mazar.
Get it right.
The judges were rude to her too, even though she had some trouble.
Right.
She wasn't terrible. She's funny. She's a good personality. I'd much rather watch her for several more weeks than somebody who's got a perfect dance routine.
I'll take her any day over Joanna Krupa.
Yeah.
And I think Joanna Krupa knows that Debbie Mazar's competition because otherwise she wouldn't have hit her in the face. She pretended to be hugging, but I think she was up to something.
And also, by the way, she's a total butterface. Like, what is that? I'm surprised that, like, the Maxim cover wasn't, like, cut off here that they showed because, like, sure, her body is very nice, but, like, oh.
We've got to talk briefly about Idol and the Ellen situation. How are you feeling? We've had a couple weeks to process the news.
Well, here are the cycles I went through. I got the press release on my BlackBerry, and I looked at it, and I thought, this is a joke. They're going to do this big stunt, and then she's going to be on her show and be like, haha, you know, I was kidding.
And when you texted me, I had the same response.
Yeah.
I was like, joking?
Because my thought was, she's richer than God, you know, she's already got a job. Why would she do this? You know, I can totally see why Idol would want her. You know, she's got an established following. She's not polarizing at all. Everybody either really likes Ellen or they're like, oh, okay, Ellen. You know, nobody's like, I hate Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
And she can fill the nice woman slot, you know, the one who's like, oh, you know, you were good, whatever, you're beautiful.
I will be an honest judge without being mean.
I don't see what's in it for her other than just more money, more attention, more whatever. I know she loves the show, but can she love it from her couch?
I would prefer her to love it from her couch. I think having a fourth judge, as we saw last season, not not a formula for success.
Yeah.
This is a huge miscalculation on the part of the producers. I think they think that the stars of the show are the judges.
Yeah, it's going to get so much worse.
It's going to get so much worse with Ellen. We saw her on So You Think You Can Dance. It was like punchline, 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 and you're great, and you're great, and you're great. And that's not what the show needs. They need another interesting, critical voice on that panel. Simon right now is half asleep, and I think if they brought in someone who could match him in his critiques and maybe steal some of his thunder in that department, it would force him to snap to it and pay attention and
then
get
push
re-energized.
Randy and Cara away.
Just push them,
Everyone's going to end up singing like one bar of every song, and then it's going to be like, you know.
It's going to be like, hit this note, hit that note. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
You know, because the judges are really, I just feel like they're going to steal all that time. And I think Ellen is such a big personality, she's going to suck that air out of the room. I don't know.
You know what, though? It's going to give them a big ratings boost, I think. And
Initially.
And I do think that it's a big F you to Paula, because it's like, oh, really? Well, we just got somebody who's 150 times more famous than you are. Thanks.
That may be what this is all about, really, is giving her a big FU. Yeah. But I think as much of an initial ratings boost as they'll get from Ellen, if she's as sucky as I fear she might be in terms of actual critique, it may actually hurt the show's long-term prognosis, because you don't want your audience fast-forwarding through 3 out of 4 judges. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm holding out some hope for Cara for the season, that maybe she'll improve.
She'll rise to the occasion.
I've got to hold on to something, and God, there's no alcohol in this cup.
Yeah.
So Chris Allen, we're here at Z100, where you just had the debut of your single, Live Like We're Dying.
Yeah.
And then a fire alarm went off the minute it was done playing.
I know, right? It must have been that smoking.
You went there. Was it a tough decision picking the first single? Because I think the expectations are always high coming off Idol. It's like America signed you. They feel like they have a hand in your entire career.
Yeah.
It's like, you better make the right choice.
I think it's total pressure, but I think it's a good pressure. I think people, just expect us to come out and do good stuff. But, you have to prove yourself. We're not we just got into the music business, I think that's what we're trying to do with this single, is just a really good introduction of what's going to happen.
Now, what about people who are upset that it's a quote-unquote cover song, even though I don't know if anyone actually ever heard this song stateside?
No one
put it out there.
Right. There's a lot of people that get songs from other people and that they didn't put on an album or something like that, and that's what happened with this one, and we're so proud of the song, and I feel like I made it my own, and I actually love the script. I think they're a great band, and everyone should listen to them.
It gets in your head immediately.
But not in a bad way, though.
No, it's a good one. It's a good. I mean, I've listened to it probably. I'm not going to lie. I've listened to it probably like 100 times.
Hey,
I'm a little obsessive OCD with the repeat button.
Designers, I'm here to check in with you.
Project Runway this week. I have to say, I am perplexed, and I'm a little bit woeful about Nicholas's win in the movie theme fashion week.
You are the winner of this challenge.
His dress was described as looking cheap by some of the judges.
Right.
It looked cheap. It looked like something out of the Fredericks of Hollywood Halloween collection.
Exactly. They told one girl that her dress looked like it would be in a plastic bag, like a French maid's outfit. That's what I felt like with his. I guess they were supposed to be making costumes and not fashion inspired by film characters.
It was very unclear to say.
Because if it were a costume contest, then sure, he won, because that was a costume. That was a sci-fi costume. But the other dress, the Victorian Vampire Bride, was gorgeous for $150, and they raved about it, and yet he still didn't win.
It was an exquisite outfit. I mean, it was really amazing.
Beautiful.
And like you said, for $150, he created that. I don't know how he managed to do it.
Yeah.
And I actually also thought Epperson's Western
I liked that quite a bit.
was pretty cool, too.
I don't really like him. I find him kind of annoying, but he didn't whine. He got Western. He didn't want it. And it didn't look costumey. It looked like high fashion interpretation.
I did love when Tim came in and saw the outfit and was like,
The ruffles have such a profound visual impact. I mean, I'm really seduced by them.
Tim's my favorite.
It was like the highlight of my week.
Carry on.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The win this week kind of got to me, and the elimination kind of got to me. I thought Ramon had shown a little more promise week to week. And I think one of the problems of not having Nina and Michael and Heidi, all three of them there, you sort of lose that idea of what's happening with the contestants week to week.
Right. I think they just sort of say, oh, well, this week he put together this slapped-together lizard dress, which it was.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
It was hideous.
But they didn't have any context for the fact that he's much better than that other girl whose name I can't remember and who herself said, I don't stand out.
Right.
They're not standing out amongst the crowd.
I mean, if you're willing to get on camera and be like, my clothes don't stand out, maybe it's time for you to go home. We need Nina to come back and say things like, I question your taste level.
Yeah.
And I question Nicholas's taste level.
Yeah.
I also just kind of don't like him, so maybe it's hard for me.
Yeah, he's kind of annoying.
Thank you.
Is he foreign or is he just affected? What is that accent?
It comes and goes. It's a little bit Madonna.
Yeah.
I want to be daring.
It's a little bit Jordana.
Yeah.
Ooh, no.
And it's a little bit like just annoying queen.
Nicholas.
Hi, Tim.
Talk to me.
I feel like they should have a Chiron and just be like, foreign, annoying queen. Just something to put him in context. I need labels on my people.
Yeah, labels are good.
Yeah.
That's what Reality is about. I've heard a couple other songs that I don't know if they're going to make the album or not.
Okay.
Written All Over Your Face. Again, a wordy song.
Yeah.
And a catchy one.
Yeah, it's great.
Who wrote that and who's responsible? Who's responsible for this song?
It was actually the same people that wrote Live Like We're Dying, Written All Over My Face.
Really?
Yeah. We had listened to those first two early on, and we loved them both. So it'll probably be on the album, so be looking forward to that. It's a great song.
And Before We Come, I've also heard.
Before We Come Undone, yeah.
Oh, that's all they called it. They didn't. I was wondering where's the undone in the song title, because it sounds a little. I like it better with the undone.
Before we, okay.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Yes.
You need to tell your label to update the single title, but it's got a certain urgency to it.
I actually wrote that song with another writer, Lindy and Greg Kirsten, Lindy Robbins and Greg Kirsten, and it was just got in the studio, and we were just sitting there, and we ended up writing something, and really love it. I think it's great, man, and we're gonna do some tweaks to it to make it a little bit better, but it's one of those songs that I think a lot of people are excited about.
It's got a little angst to it.
Yeah, the lyrics are a little like not so happy and
fighting for that relationship.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of people go through.
Let's talk about Top Model.
Smizing.
Super Smize.
Super Smize came to the rescue to teach the girls an all-important lesson.
I think the show has reached like a disturbing point.
It's almost like a Fellini film at this point. Don't you think?
They clearly have no budget, so when they want to do something special or crazy, Tyra just talks in a French accent or puts on a cape.
Honestly, does she not know that she looks like a moron when she does those little skits, or does she not care? Is that what she's going for? I don't know.
Smile with my eyes.
It just seems like she's trying to make the show as completely far away from actual modeling as she can. First she's going to hire real short women who are never, ever, ever going to get hired in modeling. And then she's going to make up words that are not used in modeling, like smizing.
Right.
And then she's going to do shoots on old dirty mattresses, which is what they did this week.
I mean, honestly, it makes the Janice Dickinson modeling agency look legit.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I've got to give props to Diva Devana.
Oh my God, I loved her.
Girls, I want you to meet Miss Diva Devana.
9-year-old
She was
runway
working
sensation.
it.
Was like she had stepped out of my RuPaul CD with Supermodel You Better Work.
Yeah.
I was like, she's 9 years
would watch
old.
a show about her.
Oh my God.
And she was just looking at those ladies like, you old hags, I am so far ahead of you and I'm not.
Why was she not the guest judge?
Oh my God, can you imagine? That would have been awesome.
If
She's
she-
like, I'm just not seeing it.
I don't know if she can speak because we actually didn't hear any sound come out of her
true.
mouth. But even so, I think that would have made her an even better
could have
guest
done
judge.
it with a
She could have
look.
just been like,
Smoking.
Jesus.